And George Kittle joins us now on the phone. George, you had a nice year last year, so it's not like this is completely out of the blue, but you have certainly cranked it up a few notches here. What's it been like to go through what has been a breakout season?
It's been really fun. I think a lot of that just attributes to being in Coach Shanahan's offense, a whole extra year, learning it, the ins and outs. Once you get all that stuff down, you can just kind of play and you can have fun out there instead of thinking so much. But this year, the wins and losses haven't been what we wanted, but, definitely had some success, and it's been a really good time.
George, you grew up in a very recognizable Iowa sports family. What was that like for you, the fact that people who were in the state and who knew the sporting community knew a ton of your relatives?
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. I think a lot of those from my mom's side of the family. My dad did play at Iowa. But my mom's side of the family definitely, had roots in the University of Iowa with, Jess, Brad Carlson, my cousin Henry, just athletes kind of all over the board. And the fact that, everyone was so recognizable, it was definitely fun to be able to, follow in their footsteps and play at Iowa.
Well, I'd love to chat more, but as you mentioned, we got one of your cousins here, so it feels like you guys ought to take this opportunity to catch up. But Jess, so take us through. Your first cousin, yes?
That's right.
Yeah.
First cousin. My mom has 9 sisters. My grandpa, Bruce and Bub KRIEGER, and my grandma, Eugene KRIEGER, had 10 daughters and no sons. And so many of us love to play the game, love to play sports. And it's just so nice to see George and Henry finally make it to the top of the mountain and play professionally. George, let's talk about your dad, Bruce Kittle, who was a co-captain on the '82 Rose Bowl team at Iowa. I remember when I played at Iowa, he would send me these in-depth letters and encouraging me and how to be a better player, how to be a better leader. What impact has he had on your life on the field as well as off of it?
He's definitely one of the biggest influences that, I've had. Whether it's just life lessons off the field or, teaching me how to run block since I was like 6 years old. That was always his goal. He's definitely impacted me in the most positive way possible. He's definitely been the best father figure I could ask for. He's been there every step of the way for me, coaching me 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade football, soccer, basketball. He wasn't the best basketball coach, but he tried his hardest, which is really nice. He always just, told me, if you love the game, it's going to come easy to you. And, football is definitely something that I've loved my entire life. And, I've shared a passion with him.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And what about your mom? My Aunt Jan, your mom, Jan, she was an All-American basketball player. Drake, we still haven't forgiven her for turning down a scholarship offer to the University of Iowa. But as she tells us, they weren't any good back then, and she went to Drake and swept us 4 years in a row. How has she impacted your life?
My mom is my biggest supporter. She would come to every single NFL game if she could, if airfare wasn't so expensive. She loves it. She would move out here, too, if she could. She absolutely loves me, loves the game. It's awesome having someone like that in your corner. And, along with, all of our whole family, it's just, getting texts all the time from them. You're doing a great job. You love watching on TV. When you get support like that from your family, it definitely makes my life a lot easier.
Yeah, it's amazing how many times we played and you'd look in the stands and there would be 100 immediate family members. Have you kept in touch with all the rest of the cousins and family members? And I'm sure everybody's just so thrilled of your enormous week this week. And you've just been all over the news. We've been very proud of you.
Hey, thanks so much, Jess. I think if I try to call each and every single one of them, it'd take me probably like 2 weeks. It would take me a while because there's a lot of them out there.
You are a great competitor. You have been from the time you were very young. What about your relationship with Henry, our other cousin Henry, who plays for the Rams? Take us back to when you were kids and you guys used to battle and some of those little fisticuffs you guys used to have.
Henry was always bigger than me, so he always kind of bullied me, which was pretty fun. We grew up, we had like 5 or 6 cousins that were always, really close, same age. We all played the same sports, whether it was wiffle ball or, football. We always just had a great time competing, and, it was really fun competing with those guys because they were always older and bigger than me, and I'd always have to do a little bit extra to be, play at my best. But, especially then carrying over into Iowa, having Henry there, definitely helped me adjust to a college system, the college lifestyle, classes and football at the same time, stuff like that. Henry was a great role model for me, and, he still is to this day.
And when I was growing up, George, our aunts were so dominant at Winfield Mount Union, and we'd go to the women's games, and they would win every game, and then everybody would leave for the men's game. It was stunning. And what impact has your aunts have on your life? I know they sure are proud of you as well, and they were all pretty great athletes themselves.
Oh, I know, right? I mean, I just remember going to their softball games, and they would just always whoop up on everybody, and they wouldn't even blink about it. Just like, well, we won by 10 today. You know, maybe we could win by 20 next time. That's just their attitude. You know, they were just always so much better than everybody else. It was really fun to watch them.
What's the deal with the Iowa tight end football factory? I mean, it seems like every year one of you guys come in, not highly recruited, you get stronger, you get faster, and then 5 or 6 years later, you're playing on Sundays.
You know, that's a lot, you know, just the coaches, you know, strength staff at Iowa. I mean, I came in at like 190 pounds, and I left at 250 pounds. That's a lot on Coach Doyle and, you know, just his program. It's development, you know. I mean, I wasn't ready, you know. I wasn't a 3-year guy, you know. I'm going to come in, make an impact my first year, and I can leave in the next year. You know, they took a lot of time on me, and they let me develop, you know. And I didn't really play until my redshirt junior year, and then, you know, kind of carries over. It's just a lot of, you know, hard work, dedication, you know, waking up with the right mindset every single day, you know, and they instill that in you at Iowa, and, you know, I owe all my success to them. So, you know, I'm just thankful that I got an opportunity to play there.
George, you are a young guy relative to your cousin over here, but what recollections, if any, do you have of Jess as an athlete?
Other than playing at Iowa for 12 years, you know, he was just dominant in the post, man. I love watching post guys play, and I'm pretty sure he fouled harder than anyone else out there, and that's what I always respected. You know, if someone comes into your lane and you foul them, they don't want to come back in there anymore, and I know he did that the right way.
So one more thing I wanted to ask you. I mean, you finished 4 yards shy last week of the all-time receiving yardage mark for tight ends, and you got all of your yards in the first half. Have you given Coach Shanahan any business about this? He couldn't have gotten one more pass thrown your way?
Please.
You know what? I was fibbing with him today. It's his birthday today, and I told him I was gonna get him 5 yards for his birthday. But other than that, you know, I have exactly 69 catches on the season, so we didn't really want to ruin that either.
Well, our teammate, George, here at the Big Ten Network, Shelly Till, has a special daughter named Claire Till, and tell us about your relationship.
Oh, I love Shelly. You know, she stepped in. You know, I've been dating Claire, and now we're engaged for about 5.5, 6 years. And Shelly kind of stepped in as a second mom right away. You know, she does a great job with that. You know, I absolutely love when Shelly comes out and visits us. It's fun because she just enjoys the sport so much, and it's just fun to have her out here, and it's always fun to see her on TV as well. So I'm blessed to have a future mother-in-law like that.
Well, between Shelly and Jess, there is no greater star here at the Big Ten Network than you, George, and we are really honored to have had you on. It's been cool to watch you have such a great year. Thanks a lot for your time, and best of luck here going forward the rest of the way.
Hey, thanks so much for having me on, guys. You guys are the best.
Thanks, George.